Good morning, Jim here. It's June 10th, 2021. It's 1:40 a.m. and my motorcycle has 7,777 miles at mileage equals 0. This is going to be my attempt at a Iron Butt 2000. I'm in Holbrook now. My far point is going to be the University of Iowa, Iowa City. Just a brief walk around. Inside here is additional rain gear and a lighter jacket. This is dry clothes. I have a moto jug on the left-hand side with ice and Gatorade in it. I've got an Airhawk pillow for comfort. SW Motec bag, city bags. Phone goes here, GPS there. I've got my hoods on because I heard that there's going to be some storms coming my way as I travel Route 80. PIAA 270 lights. Larger Pug windscreen. Front-facing 1080 DPI motorcycle camera. These are deer alerts. You never know what's going to happen in Pennsylvania or Ohio. Over to the right, these are two 1.5 liter extra fuel cans. And on this side is tools and first aid. This is working with food, drinks, notepad. The light on the rear is in case I come across any foggy conditions. It's much easier to see a motorcycle like this as you're coming up on it. It's 1:33 in the morning. My route will be to leave Long Island, cross the George Washington Bridge, pick up Route 80 in Teaneck, New Jersey, and follow it all the way out to Dubois, Pennsylvania, where I'll stop for my first fuel stop in 326 miles. And then up to Toledo, follow Route 80 through Joliet, cross into Iowa, cross the Mississippi in LeClaire, Iowa. I'm looking forward to that. And then arrive at the University of Iowa clinics around 5 p.m. to hook up with a colleague of mine. The one-way ride is 1,064 miles. And my return is going to be via Indianapolis and Columbus, Ohio, and the middle part of Pennsylvania before coming back. And I have to be back here by 1:33 in the morning on Saturday, the 12th. Okay, Jim signing off for now. More from the road. Miles, 2:41 a.m. I always say my adventure begins when I cross the George Washington Bridge, and this is that moment. So, see you later, Long Island. See you later, Manhattan. I'm gonna go have some fun. More later from the state of Pennsylvania. I call this good COVID relief. 3:44 in the morning, 125 miles. I'm at the Delaware Water Gap on Route 80, heading west. I normally would record a video every 100 miles, but I think in this case, I'm just going to record landmark moments and distinguishing cities that I crossed through. The Delaware Water Gap is one of those moments. First stop, I'm on Route 80, exit 277 at a local gas station. So I just passed the Poconos and was in the mountains. The temperature when I left the house was 74 degrees. And here in the mountains, it dropped 10 degrees. So for the last hour, maybe not that long, I've been riding in 64 to 65 degree temperatures. And despite that I have two shirts on, excuse me, my core temperature dropped quite a bit. I'm gonna put on my Gerbing's outer jacket and warm up a little. And this is my rheostat control unit. Plugs into the side of the motorcycle here, and then it stays right here on the console. So time to get on that layer, and I've got 104 miles remaining in the tank, but I'll just make this a fuel stop, reset my fuel odometer, and then get back on the road and ride it to 300 miles. More later. All right, I'm fueled up. Only took 4 gallons. I reset my fuel odometer. I'm in Whitehaven, Pennsylvania. It's 4:30 in the morning. Got my receipt printed out, signed, dated, mileage. It's my Gerbing's heated clothing I'm about to plug in. The temperature is only 65 degrees. And I feel better about getting back on the road. Bike's running great. Skies are clear and dry. And I'm already ready to get plugged in and get back on the road. Bike's running great. Roads are dry, sky's clear. Heading to Toledo, Ohio, and points further west. More from the road. Jim signing off. Fog of the mountains of Pennsylvania. Woo! It's thick. Slowing way down. So plan on that if you're a Route 80 rider heading west before sunrise. Or later from Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, and exit 178. (8:18 in the morning, day 1. 432 miles underfoot. Trip 1 is how many miles on the tank of gas. So I have piloted 272 miles on this tank of gas, and miles remaining on the tank is 0. I'm in Hermitage. Just taking a break here. Need to use the facilities, need to make a mirror adjustment, need to get the bugs off my windscreen. And it's now 71 degrees. Said goodbye to that 64-degree weather. And I get to take off my Gerbing seated clothing. Got some bugs. Okay, time for a little change up. All right, I've been stationary for about 18 minutes. And in that time, I have cleaned off all of the bugs on my lenses, directionals, lighting, all the bugs on my windscreen. I also adjusted this right-sided mirror out about 2 degrees because it was a little too close to my body. The reflection was too close to my body. I also adjusted the wiring for this on-off control unit. This is the on-off control unit, which I've plugged into an accessory 12-volt dedicated power source that goes into this glove box and goes right to the battery. And I've rewired this so that it's underneath the cowling and underneath the seat. It was originally here, and I was reaching behind my back and turning the switch on and off when I was in the fog, but now it's in front of me, and I've relocated the wire and secured it with some Gorilla Tape so that I can have the on-off switch that's closer to me. And I've eaten, and I've had a drink, and I've had a trip to the restroom. The next thing I'm going to do is fuel up, sign my receipt over there at the fuel pump, and then get back on the road, which is 2 miles that way. Maybe this is just a little bit longer than what I anticipated, but I think I'm going to have some good timing on the plus side, and I will have no problem reaching my mark. I still have another 600 plus miles to go before I hit my destination of the University of Iowa. So I'm just gonna, obviously I've also taken off my Gerbing heated clothing, and the rheostat, which was here, I've tucked that away. Like I was saying, I have about 600 miles before I get to meet my party at the University of Iowa, and my anticipated arrival there is between 5:30 and 6 p.m. More later from the road. This is Jim, signing off. Just a note, I just put 7.05 gallons into this tank of mine. Those of you who don't know, there's a trick to being able to let the air bleed out from your filler. I don't endorse it, but you can get your fuel to bubble out the air, and the airspace that's remaining in the tank you can fill up with fuel. So I'm about to take a picture next of Hermitage Road, and the town that I'm in and the date are at the bottom. Okay, it's gonna be like that in just a second. 8,209 miles is on the odometer. More from the road, and Hermitage, Pennsylvania. Recordable moment.
miles when I refuel. I'm about 50 miles from Toledo. It's just some construction. We're only going about 50 miles an hour. The temperature is 72. I'm just noticing these beautiful cornfields on the left. But the corn is not that tall. Some of these sproutlings, they're not even ankle high. Some of the ones on my left, they're not even halfway up my calf. I didn't think they had a drought here, like they did in California, but it's just a very interesting observation. A lot of truckers. One last view. The Indiana state line. Woohoo! Another great moment on this trip. Well, there's some serious construction on Route 80. I had at least 3 backups that were over 10 miles long. But it wasn't raining. It's now 81 degrees. I have 10 miles to an empty tank. And I'm hoping that I get over 300 miles. When I go to refuel. Anyway, on my way to Illinois, here's beautiful Indiana. Come to look. It's 1:45 p.m. This will be a 2-part video. I've gone 305 miles on this tank of gas. I'm going to shoot the final result when I load up here at the fuel pump. Okay. I'm in Illinois. Just got out of some traffic. Still heading westbound. But look at all these other people! Oh my God! There are trucks as far as the eye can see. That's why I like going closer to big cities under the cover of darkness. There's no commuter traffic. Anyway, about half an hour from Joliet. Chicago's to my right. 3.5 hours away from the University of Iowa. And bike's running great. 230 miles remaining in the tank. And the temperature is 86 degrees. I just got a text from my friend Reese. And he said that there's a heat advisory in Iowa. Okay. See some more trucks? Well, I made it. Crossing over the Mississippi River. Woo!
So I'm here in Iowa City on the banks of the Mississippi River. I can't believe I actually crossed over the Mississippi River on my motorcycle, which is there. Just adjacent the Holiday Inn. And this is a great moment for me. I just wanted to acknowledge a few people in my life now that I'm here. One is my daughter, and I brought something of hers. This is something she drew for me years ago, and it's always kept me company, and it's always given me good luck. Second is my wife's lucky knife and her bicycle key. I wanted to bring something over from my wife Laura as well. And thirdly is my friend Honey, also a motorcyclist and an enthusiast, and crocheted this for me many years ago. She's my navigator, and she was my weathermonger during this 1,000-mile journey. Thank you. I love you all, and I'm going to continue heading over to the University of Iowa. Get my receipt and a gas fill up. So I'm in Iowa City, just finished with my meeting, leaving my colleague Grease behind. And I'm leaving Iowa City, bound for Indianapolis, Indiana, and then Columbus, Ohio, to begin my route home. It's 9:47 p.m. My trip computer says 1,053 miles, and there's 8,830 on the odometer. So I'm ready to hit it. More from the road. Jim here. 1 o'clock in the morning. I've left Iowa and I'm continuing to go to Indiana. It's now 1:18 in the morning and I have 1,201 miles underfoot. I'm in Indiana right now, just north of Indianapolis, and it's a lot cooler. It's about 72 degrees. There's no traffic. I feel good. The bike is good, and I'd much rather get some of this underfoot while it's not 90 or 92 degrees out like it was earlier today. I hope to be in Columbus, Ohio by 5:30 in the morning, and might hook up with a friend there for breakfast. But other than that, I'm good to go for a little while. Alright, more later from the road. Route 76, heading to Indianapolis.
heading to Indianapolis, Indiana. Route 74, east. Indianapolis, Indiana. This is Iron Butt 2000 Day 2. I'll be heading home via Indianapolis, Columbus, Hershey, Pennsylvania, Allentown, and back to Long Island. Great ride so far. 'Hey Stuart, I know I said I might be driving by, but I'm literally driving by. We got a pretty city here. Sorry I won't be able to see you, man. Hope you and the family are well. Later. It's 8:45 in the morning on day 2. I've got 1,440 miles underfoot. Stop for gas soon. And I'm on a bucolic highway just west of Dayton, Ohio. Big time for detours such as this. Apparently Route 70, the major connector between Indianapolis, Indiana and Dayton, is closed about 30 miles up the road because of a chemical spill. So they shut the entire highway down. So just try to prepare and make time for events such as these because they will occur. There's always road construction going on. Detours that are being mapped out for you. And I'll tell you what I'm worried about as I head further to the east. Actually, I'm worried about the cicada hatch because it's in full bloom right now. And I hear there are areas of Ohio, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania where it's likely a locust storm. That's what I'm really worried about. Okay, more from beautiful western Ohio. And of course, there's the road in front, and here's the road behind. There's a chemical spill on Route 70. And just because we were all on a detour, I picked up a rider on a Ducati and a rider on a BMW XR1000.
They're going to Dayton, Columbus, and then they're gonna go camping in West Virginia. Pretty cool. So there's this scene with Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway, and it's the end of the movie, and he's got his map out and his Cherokee and a bottle of water, and he's at the intersection trying to decide, which way should I go? North through Colorado or south through Texas? And just because I got diverted because of a closed highway over there somewhere, I'm on 700S and 325E. And there's not a sound except for birds and my own voice. Just a funny moment. And that's where I came from, and I think that's the way I'm going to go next. We'll see.
Funny thing about a detour, you never know where it's going to lead you. In the afternoon. And it's still inside of 36 hours. I've just completed 1,500 miles. 1,500 miles in under 36 hours. Because it's only 10:02 a.m. Therefore, inside this Iron Butt 2000, I've fulfilled my requirement for an Iron Butt 1500. From just outside Dayton, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio about an hour ago, and I've been watching these storms develop from the north, and I'm now in eastern Ohio, approaching West Virginia, and these are passing over important is to start from the bottom up. Because the top layers overlap the bottom layer. So I'm going to push it pretty hard here. I don't want a rainy weekend again like Memorial Day weekend. That was terrible, right? In Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Vermont. But hopefully I'll outrun these storms. Be safe out there.
From a memorial park in western Ohio, one of the smartest things you can do is use your head. So I had about 3 or 4 hours of sleep last night, and I was making some errors of judgment on the handlebars. So I pulled over, took everything off, covered the bike. I'm here with some supplies. I'm gonna take a nap, airplane pillow, and get back on it in about, an hour. You should remember that you can do the same as well. Okay? All right, just a bit of advice.
West Virginia, back into Pennsylvania. Who doesn't enjoy a good bridge crossing? Woohoo! There's so much texture in this area of western Pennsylvania. Long Island for me, which is very, very flat, but at least it's close to the beach. Into the mountains we go. Give breeze, so I had to stop and put on my Burbank heated clothing again. Now it's 64. Look how dense this fog is. But guess what? We had a stroke. For exactly this moment. Woo. Slowed down to only 62 miles an hour. Hope this gives way soon. So I'm on Route 81. I'm just 35 miles shy of completing my IBA 2000. And as you can see, it's raining pretty hard outside. And I found this overhang, all right? You must know that you can actually seek shelter from under one of these. So you can put on your rain gear. And whatever you select for rain gear, it's gotta go over your textile pants and your textile jacket. So here in the rain, I've actually put on my bright yellow rain pants, and I'm going to continue my ride, finish my IBA 2000, shoot another quick video, find a place to get my receipt, date, time, stamp, take a photograph, and then head for home. More in just a few minutes. My mileage indicator says 2,000 miles. My odometer when I left Long Island was 7,777. And now it says 9,777. And it's 9:19 p.m. on, I think it's June 13th. So I pulled off at this exit on Route 78 East for Grimes, Pennsylvania, and that's when my odometer rolled over to 2,000 miles. I didn't think I would be doing this video with the help of my trusty headlamp, but I've just completed the requirement for an iron butt 2,000 in under 48 hours. In the rain, again. Wow. So, I'm gonna get going soon, but I wanted to give a special shout out and thanks to Honey and Al in Deep River, Connecticut for being my roadies, Sherry and John for their support, and Bryce over in Iowa City at the University of Iowa for agreeing to meet with me, my brother-in-law Brant in Columbus for feeding me, the support of Maurice and Melvin, my brothers. Thanks guys, and most of all my wife Laura and Grace for their love and support on my journey. I'm going to continue eastbound on Route 78, clear Allentown, get into New Jersey, clear the George Washington Bridge, get back home to Long Island. That'll probably take me another 2 hours. And when I'm inside the garage, safe and dry, I'm sure there's going to be an epilogue, so stay tuned for that. But I hope you've enjoyed this whole video production. I don't know what it's going to look like when I get back to editing, but I hope you've enjoyed it and have learned a few things along the way. See you out there someday.
Okay, from the garage, June 11th. Just some few closing remarks. This definitely saved me in the fog and the rain, making me more visible. I loved having the moto jug with the stainless steel Ozark insert. This I got from Walmart for like 28 bucks. This has a dedicated drill hole so that the tubing goes in and then you let air vent here. But I have to tell you that when I opened up this jug this morning to refill it, there was still ice that I had gotten on Thursday morning. Definitely a Tusk handlebar mitts, because I like to use bicycle gloves so that I can tap things on my phone and other directionals. So I like my fingers to be free. I haven't mentioned these, but they are side directionals, and they are tapped into the same wiring as the front directional, and they're to let a tangential automobile driver who's flanking you know what your intentions are, because very often they can't see the rear blinking light. They're just too close to you. And these saved me twice, I'm certain. The deer whistles that I got from my local auto parts store for about $7. Because I definitely saw 2 deer shift as soon as they seen round the corner. Anyway, that's it as far as closing arguments. I hope you enjoyed this segment that I put together, and hope to see you out there someday. Jim signing off.